Greetings, everyone. Welcome to day 18 of the 80 Bits Challenge. Professor Flows, Daily Yoga Flow. Have to do a voiceover today because the audio cannot pick up anything due to the other knowledge and noise that was going on in the background. We'll have to narrate this. The timing of life is very interesting because this was the day that I have the longest flow that I've been able to record, 45 minutes. And the microphone did not pick up the audio in a really good way, and the microphone ended up dying. These things tend to happen, so we adjust. It's important for me to make sure that this is legible, audible, and that everyone can follow around. So in the beginning, we're taking some time to get on the mat. Today's theme was about connection and friendship, the importance of both and understanding the relationship between all of them. Been very fortunate to have quality connections and friendships in my life, and it relates to understanding the friendship and the connection that we must have with our body as we maneuver through and learn exactly what it is that we need from one another and from ourselves. So before we get started, take a second to get grounded through the breath. Tall chest, relaxing the shoulders up, back, and down. Grounding through the sit bones, removing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And breathing in with air, all 360 degrees from the ribs, from the front of the ribs to the back of the ribs. Simply breathe. Begin to blink the eyes open as we work towards beginning our practice. To begin, we will plant our hand towards the side, our right hand towards the side, extending on the inhale our left hand up into the air, and reaching over with our bicep to our ear, standing grounded from the sit bones, and extending our body towards the opposite side, breathing from the side body, inhaling and exhaling, making sure to get full breath all 360 degrees of your front and back ribs. Exhale and release. Inhale your arms up and place the other hand down and rotate over with strong grounded sit bones as we begin to warm our body up. Because this is a longer flow, we will have more time to get into different postures, a longer practice. The key component is to practice and to stay connected with what it is that we are doing. Breathing from the complete side body, from the front, back, and side body of the ribs. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling the fullness of the breath. At the bottom of the next exhale, we will inhale our arms up and place them gently behind us to open up our chest. Strong sit bones, as in staying grounded from the glutes. One part should not be rising up further than the other. And bringing the hands up heart center, begin to build more heat. Next, we are going to meet into tabletop tabletop pose. We are going into cat-cow flows or Marjanasana, Biltanasana, Vinyasana. Say that 3 times fast. For cow pose, we inhale and arch in our back, looking up, getting the turtle head out of the shell. And on the exhale, we're rounding our back, bringing our heart towards the ceiling, the chin to the chest. Our knees are hip width apart, and our hands and shoulders are width apart. Hands are shoulder width apart. So on the inhale, we're looking up, getting the turtle head out of the shell, maintaining alignment, pressing from the toe tops. And the hands grounded from the earth, exhaling, rounding the back, chin to chest. You do that a couple more rounds with your own inhale and exhale. Connecting to the breath, drawing the shoulder blades back and down, and cow, breathing from the abdomen. Exhaling, bringing the heart towards the sky, breathing from the thoracic part of the spine. Looking to where we can find more space for connection in our body. Remember to allow the breath to initialize the movement every time. And we will now inhale and exhale to Balasana, Child's Pose. In Balasana, we're lowering our hips to our heels. We're resting the forehead on the ground and relaxing the arms at the sides. This is a great time to set an intention for your practice. This is a great time to dedicate your practice to someone in particular if you're thinking about friendship and connections. However you decide, your heart is over your head. Allow that knowledge of the human intelligence to flow into your body. Inhaling in, exhaling and releasing. Allow the breath to form the pose. Inhaling up to tabletop, allowing ourselves to get settled, and exhaling into Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. First dog of the practice, you can pedal out the dog. Key components is to draw the shoulder blades down the back as we reach the heel towards the ground. Draw our tailbone up and back and reach the heels towards the ground energetically. Let's look up our hands towards the top of the mat, step them forward. Inhaling up for a halfway lift, pushing back from the heels, and exhaling into Uttanasana, standing forward fold, keeping the legs straight or slightly bent or folding from the hips, pressing the heels into the ground and making sure that you're relaxing the neck. Here, wanted to take some time to warm up the hamstrings for the flow that we will be doing today. Make this Uttanasana yours alone. Be here for a couple more breaths. Looking up, reverse swan diving up and exhaling to Tadasana mountain pose. Lengthening the neck, relaxing the shoulders, engaging the core, straightening the back. Staying here in this mountain pose, allowing ourselves to get firm and settled into the practice. We now begin a Surya Namaskar A, inhaling our arms up, inhaling and exhaling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Tadasana, stepping our feet back, for plank, and staying here for an inhale. Exhale, releasing down to chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. With our hands by our ribs, we're inhaling into cobra pose, baby cobra pose, bhujangasana. Inhaling up for plank, exhaling and for Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up, stepping through, rotating our back heel down 45 degrees for warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. Drawing the shoulder blades down. You see, inhaling the arms up and over, bring them down to the sides and inhaling them up. As here, I'm mentioning the importance of keeping the weight 45 degrees and pushing from the blade edge side of the foot and keeping our back foot rooted down. We're aligning the front knee over our ankle and squaring the hips. Energetically, our front hip is moving backwards, and energetically, our back hip is moving forward as we draw our shoulder blades down. All this is creating the energy we need to have a strong warrior as we work our way into warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhaling the hands down. Coming back to plank pose on an inhale and exhale, staying there for a second as we inhale, exhale, and push our elbows back, lifting up for Bhujangasana, upward facing dog and or cobra pose. Going to Adho Mukha Savasana for downward facing dog again, drawing the tailbone up and back. Biceps by the ears, head is heavy, reaching the head towards the ground, lifting our left leg up into the air, stepping it through, rotating the back foot down 45 degrees, caked up, inhaling our arms out towards the sides to help our arms stay straight in a warrior one pose, Virabhadrasana 1. Again, making sure that our hips are square. An analogy that is commonly used is to treat our hips as if they are headlights. Headlights that are moving symmetrical, handlebars if you will. The whole component is to keep our hips nice and square. Inhaling the arms up to be a strong warrior, keeping our back foot rooted down, aligning the front knee over the ankle, and breathing. Breathing into your practice of space and connection. Taking another inhale in, exhaling our hands down, stepping back into plank. Topical push-up. On an exhale, lowering down, inhaling into Bhujangasana, baby cobra, bending the arms slightly, pressing the thighs into the ground. Reversing back to Adho Mukha Savasana on the exhale, keeping the legs straight and walking them up towards the top of the mat. Inhaling for halfway lift, exhaling for forward fold, inhaling looking up, reverse swan dive, and exhaling for Tadasana, mountain pose. Next, we are going to continue our Surya Namaskar, going into Warrior 2 next, to begin to build more heat in the body, more connection, more friendship, more space. So it's a downward dog plank flow in the interim, Adho Mukha Savasana, Kumbhasana Vinyasa. As you'll see, we're inhaling our arms up, exhaling forward fold, inhaling halfway lift, pushing back from the hips, exhaling, hands going to the mat, stepping back, allowing our breath to be still for a second as we exhale into Chaturanga, inhaling into Baby Cobra, Bhujangasana, drawing the shoulders down, open the chest up and forwards, pressing the thighs into the ground, and exhale into Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog, as we lift our right leg up into the air, rotating our back foot parallel towards the mat, Inhaling our arms up for warrior one, exhaling them for warrior two. Warrior two pose, Virabhadrasana 2. We're aligning our arms over our legs, extending through the fingertips, aligning the front knee over the ankle and straightening the back leg. A tip is to push from the blade edge side of the foot. So where your pinky toe is, pushing through there, allowing more engagement in the glutes. The front foot remains rooted. If the heel can align, the front heel can align with the middle part of the back foot. Exhale the hands down, step back into plank. Stay here for a second. Exhale, lower down, inhaling up for Bhujangasana, baby cobra, bending the arms slightly, open the chest up and forward, strengthening the spine, pushing back into Adho Mukha Savasana, downward dog, lifting our left leg up, stepping through, rotating our other foot down, working from the blade edge side of the foot to ensure we have a tall foundation. Again, Bhujangasana, warrior two. Virabhadrasana, warrior number 2, aligning the arms over the legs. You might have a different side that's stronger or weaker than the other. Extending through the fingertips, aligning the front knee over the ankle, and straightening the back leg. Feeling the engagement in the glutes. If you see here, my glutes are quite engaged. It's the joys of working out on camera. Breathe and sync, finding that connection. Exhaling the hands down, stepping back for plank, staying here for 1 second, inhaling and pushing back from the elbows. Exhaling, our hands are by our ribs for cobra pose, Bhujangasana, drawing our shoulders down, open the chest upward, chest up and forward. Exhaling for Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog, as we reach our heels towards the ground, pedaling out our feet, feeling the difference between the warrior one and the warrior two. Inhaling and exhaling, walking the feet up towards the top of the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Reverse swan dive, look up. Exhale and release. Remember to allow the breath to lead. Tadasana, straightening the back, lengthening the neck as we are going into Surya Namaskar. Inhaling our arms up into the air. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana, folding from the hips, relaxing the neck. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, stepping back into plank, topical push-up. Inhaling and exhaling for a quick second. As we exhale, lower down. Inhale, back into baby cobra. Exhaling into Adho Mukha Savasana. Drawing the shoulder blades down and back, lifting our leg up into the air, our right leg up into the air, stepping it through. Rotating our back foot down to Virabhadrasana, 2 feet. Warrior 2, extending through the fingertips. We are now getting into side angle pose. Utthita Parsavakonasana, extended side angle pose. So extending through the top of our fingertips. We're lengthening through the side body. Our right arm is on our right knee. We're keeping our back foot rooted down and keeping the front thigh parallel to the ground. Breathing and opening up our chest. If accessible to you, you can plant your hand, your bottom hand that was previously on your thigh, towards the mat. Key component here is to open up from the chest, aligning the front knee over the ankle, allowing our heart to extend and to breathe. Utthita Parsavakonasana. Parsvakonasana. Sanskrit can be a doozy. We keep practicing until it becomes like a second language to us. If we never practice, we'll never know. Breathing from the side body, lengthening through the side body. Exhaling, inhaling up, straightening out the front. We begin to reach until our arm can't reach anymore. You might need to step in the back foot. We want to spread the weight evenly through both feet for Trikonasana, triangle pose, extended triangle pose. Extending through the top of our fingers after we open up our chest and have a strong foundation. Lengthening through the spine and bending from the hip joint. Trikonasana triangle pose. Breathe into the body. You might feel this in the QL. You might need a yoga mat or yoga block. As you look up towards the top hand. Inhaling our arms back into side angle pose for a brief second as we return from whence we came. Cartwheeling our hands down, exhaling, going back to plank, holding our breath here for a quick second. Exhaling into Chaturanga, inhaling for baby cobra. Pressing the thighs into the ground, exhaling into Adho Mukha Savasana. Downward facing dog, lifting the left leg up and through, rotating our back foot down to Virabhadrasana 2. As you see here, went from 1 to 2, back foot down, and we are now taking extended side angle pose on our other side. So we're lengthening through our side body, keeping our back foot rooted down. Oftentimes we might want more from the hand and not paying attention to how our foundation is setting up. As you push from the bottom blade edge of the foot, you will engage your glutes more. But you do not want to collapse the integrity of the pose as we are breathing and lengthening through the side body, extending through the fingertips. Work to align the front knee over the ankle. Keep that back foot rooted down. Working to keep your arms straight over one another as we inhale into extended side angle Utthiyasana. Again, straightening up our front foot as we extend and reach for Trikonasana, extended triangle pose on the other side. Bending from the hip joint, lengthening the spine, extending through the fingertips, ensuring that your weight is spread evenly through both feet, which is why you might want to take a step in for your back foot, depending on your height, body type, etc. Breathe here, focus on that connection. Breathe. Maintaining a strong integrity. Inhaling back to Warrior 2. Extended side angle. We will cartwheel our hands down on the exhale. Holding the breath here for a second. Exhaling, pushing our elbows back towards our ribs as we lower down. And inhale for Bhujangasana. Open the chest up and forward, pressing the thighs into the ground, baby cobra. We will take a second here in crocodile pose, Makarasana, relaxing the lower body, focusing on the breath, resting one cheek on the hands as we make a little pillow. After all that movement, we're taking the time to relax, see what our body is communicating to us, the intelligence, the friendship of our body. Does a lot of effort keeping us up and right. Inhaling up to tabletop, Vajrayasana, Uttanasana. Inhaling for topical push-up. Exhaling to Adho Mukha Savasana. Resting here as we rested in crocodile pose. Look up, step your hands to the top of the mat, step the feet to the top of the mat. Inhaling halfway lift. Exhaling Uttanasana, forward fold. Look up, reverse swan dive. And exhale to Tadasana, mountain pose. Next, we are stepping our right foot back into high lunge on the top ball of our feet. In high lunge, lining our front knee over our ankle, pushing our pelvis forward, squaring the hips. We are exhaling our right tricep over our left knee for twisting triangle pose. We're twisting our upper body, crossing the bottom elbow over the opposite thigh, keeping the weight on the ball of the foot. Only here for 2 breaths. So we inhale our arms up, working through balance. Inhaling in. Important transition. We're inhaling and stepping our feet into Uttanasana, chair pose, drawing our shoulders down, tilting the pelvis downward, lengthening the spine. And then staying from chair, we're exhaling our left leg back into that high lunge, twisting, revolving, working for our balance as you see. And we are inhaling and exhaling, keeping our legs engaged. Building some more heat before we wind down for the practice. Working for the ball of the feet, really drawing that top shoulder back to make sure that we're breathing from all parts of our body. Inhaling and exhaling. In our next smooth transition, we're inhaling our arms up from high lunge, exhaling our legs into chair pose, Uttanasana, lengthening the spine, tilting the pelvis downward, reaching the hands up, drawing the shoulders down, and exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, return to Uttanasana. Taking the time to wide step our feet out as we are making our way into Malasana, garland pose, or yogi squat. We're heel toeing our feet out for one side, facing the camera to make this a little bit of an easier see. We're aiming to press the heels into the ground if they're not naturally standing on their own. Straightening the spine, lengthening the neck, and drawing the shoulder blades not only down and together. It helps to keep a fixed gaze, or dristi, as you will often hear it called. In Malasana, begin warming our body up as we go into Kakasana, aka crow pose. That's what will be next after the garland pose, the Mount Asana, the yogi squat. So for crow pose, we're going to extend our feet up and hands towards the mat to warm our body up some more. We want to ensure that our elbows are aligned over our wrist. To do that, I work my triceps into the inner parts of my forearms, the triceps, into the creases of my knees, both of my knees. Taking out the time to step the hands one paw print out while also maintaining that connection. We're keeping our back slightly rounded, aligning the elbows over the wrist, and we lift one foot up. If this is new to you, one toe at a time, one side at a time. Gently place that down. You want to work with the balance getting accustomed to the fact that your body will be going vertical very soon. You can use the other toe. I'm going to rotate to the other side, noticing how I'm keeping the knees touched to the triceps as we work towards crow. And here you'll see both of the feet lift off of the ground. This is something to mess around with your balance. If you're worried about falling forward, you can place something there to protect your head. Inhaling and exhaling, allowing both feet to come off the ground. Breathing, breathing, and exhaling and releasing. We'll do that one more time. Lifting the feet up, getting lighter on your feet as you press more into the hands, keeping the elbows over the wrist. Exhaling and release. Great job. Now let's find a seat. If you are kind and listen to the intelligence of your body, you can practice every day. It's not always about pushing the limits as much as it is making sure that you are going towards the limit. Inhaling our arms up as we go towards our seated forward bend pose, Paschimottanasana. Hands are reaching towards the feet, sit up high on the sit bones, exhaling back from the hip bones, aiming to rest the elbows on the ground or keeping your feet together. This time I kept the foot flexed, the feet flexed. Reaching forward on each exhale. The body begins to wind and cool down. The elbows were resting down. Relaxing the neck. Getting to inhale, we're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. Inhaling our arms up, exhaling and reaching. Key component here to make sure that our side body does not collapse. Breathing from our entire side body. Inhaling up, exhaling to the other side. Beginning to cool down our body. For every inversion, back bend, we want to do our best to ensure the opposite motion happens to balance out our spine and balance out our body. Bring our feet together towards each other for bound angle pose. Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Folding forwards, grounding through the sit bones, pressing the feet together and towards the pelvis. Relaxing the shoulders down. You can make this component in our knees. We're going to allow our back to meet the mat for our next component. Knees are bent, ankles are flat towards our buttocks. We're working our way towards bridge pose. We will be here for a couple of breaths. Bridge is Setu Bandhasana. Lining the knees over the ankles. Inhaling our glutes up. If you would like a more passive or restorative, place a block underneath your sacrum. Sacrum is the part where your tailbone meets your buttocks. So not necessarily on the lower back, that underneath that bone, but make sure that it's not causing you any pain. If you want a more active position, we will inhale and exhale, release, down. There's many different ways of bridge pose. You can reach your hands towards your ankles, but you want to keep your feet hip width apart as you inhale and exhale, lifting the pelvis up and towards your head. We're going to work our way into wheel pose, chakrasana. This is a very powerful pose. Our knees are hip width. This is apart. We're placing our wrist towards the opposite way, as in our fingertips are going to be pointing towards our ankles. We want to reach upwards with our pelvis and aiming to straighten our arms. The key component here is to spread the weight equally across the hands and feet as to not cause too much strain. And on the exhale, pushing up into wheel pose. Making sure to reach upward toward the pelvis. As you see, more action is coming from the glutes. It's not a passive position. And you can begin to work your feet up. Try to stand on your tippy toes with a more advanced variation of lifting the feet up into the air, one foot up into the air and the other. To get out of chair pose, gently tuck your chin into your pelvis and lower your body down. You don't want to crash out of here. We're now taking the time to inhale our body up after that final pose. We were going into Pavamukhantanasana, hugging the knees into the chest, rounding the spine. You might feel some tension, neural tension in the psoas, the hips. Breathe into those sensations. Allow your body to relax into the stretch, into the pose, allowing the breath to form stronger connections, different components of our space and time. This has been a very enjoyable practice, specifically voicing it over. Allows us to see how things flow. Allows us to see how things can be improved upon, how we can take our time to practice. And we can think about all those things after, because our true self is waiting for us in Savasana. So let's take the time to relax the entire body, focus on the breath, keep the arms and legs apart, and the palms can face upwards. Keeping your body engaged, relaxing. You now begin to come out of the pose, out of Shavasana. Inhaling and exhaling. Begin to find movement back in, rotate to a side, taking one last time to thank the body for the practice, for the connection. Pushing up into Sukhasana, easy pose, strengthening the spine, lengthening the neck, Thank you for taking the time to practice, to observe, and pay attention to this flow. It truly does mean a lot. Any questions or comments, please let me know. For Professor Flows, day 18 is complete. Have a great day, everybody.